it all works, and it's lovely that it can be a non-secular idea, that it is simply a time to come together. As I looked around, there are Thanksgiving feasts and festivities outside, of course, of the Christian religion, the Protestants that did it, but worldwide, it's a time of harvest. In all cultures, in all countries, there is a very non-secular aspect to Thanksgiving. It is simply a time when all of the growth of all of the harvest comes in the fall. And there is the fruits of the labor that has been accomplished and achieved, and that food is in abundance and in bounty. There were accounts that I saw in India, in Japan, in all nations, any place where there is farming, there is a feast at the end of the fall harvest. And when I was guided to look more deeply into this, I was shown that isn't it a natural rhythm that as we plant seeds in the spring and we wait all summer and we nurture and then we see the fruits of our labor coming for the fall, isn't that everything that we do in our life? We have an idea that's birthed. We decide if it's viable, if it's something that could turn into a creation. So we plant the seeds and we build it and we nurture it, and then we wait for it to come into fruition. We use the word fruition, coming from fruit trees, coming into fruition. And I was guided to remember, I had a session with a gentleman a couple of months ago, and he was probably in his mid-50s, lived at home with his parents, had never really accomplished any kind of career or sense of income or profession in his life, had recently married and was waiting for his wife to join him from overseas, and was now desperately trying to find some way to come up with some source of income so that he could support his wife and not make her live with him with his parents, who were in their mid-70s, without any source of personal income to support her. And as he sat in session with me, he had a copy of my magazine where it said, I can help you shift your paradigm and move into different dimensions. And he said, I want to just have money, and I want to have it quickly. I just want a quick fix on something. And I was a little at a loss for words, and he kept saying, I just want it now. I just want to have income coming in, and I don't want to have to work hard, and I don't really want to have to spend all this time and effort creating something. Can you just tell me how to align my system so I can get money in now? And I know, and I know that people in our neighborhood, in our world, we talk about how things can manifest like that. And so he'd gotten this idea that in the spiritual world, people like us, that we could teach him in a 1-hour session, that he paid my special unemployment rate fee of, that he could manifest a world of wealth in what he kept calling a quick fix. He goes, just give me something quick. And he walked out of this session with me, I have to say, very disappointed. And there is a balance there. We don't want to say, oh, everything comes hard. School of hard knocks. You know, to make money, it's hard work and it's a long drag. I mean, there is a balance there between the idea that everything is so hard and long and laborious and so much effort goes into something to only get a little bit back, as compared to the other extreme of just give me money. I don't want to do anything for it. I just want to have it all handed to me. There's the balance in the middle, the ebb and the flow. We are an energy torus, and everything that comes back to us in bounty that we see in the fall harvest is equal to that of the seeds that we planted in the spring and the work that we did nurturing it over the summer. It's taken me 5 years to create what we're sitting in here now. Was it hard work sometimes? Absolutely. Was I stressed sometimes? Absolutely. Did I cry and did I worry about money? More times than not. But that was because I was over here instead of here centered. The more centered I get, the universe works on a very balanced scale of energy in, energy out. And considering all of the energy I put in, we probably would be even bigger now if I didn't have the beliefs that it was going to be so long and be so hard. And so I created an energy vortex that was taking more than what I was putting in, and what I was reaping wasn't equal to the energy I was putting in. So we had the Alchemy Conference here this weekend, and they put me down as an opening ceremony each morning. And I started with the Friday morning, and they asked me to do an opening prayer and a blessing, and so I did one similar that we do here every Sunday. And I introduced some of the healers that were here in attendance, Susie and Abby. And the founder, Saeed Farman, asked me to read a poem from one of the most famous poets in Iran, Omar Khayyam. And so I was given an English translation, and I read it, and I was given a guided message of how to translate it, because the poetry is pretty deep. You don't get the meaning the first time you read it through. And then he brought the panel up of all the speakers that was going to be there that morning, and asked that they each speak for 5 minutes. And so I moved away, but he asked me to step in behind, and I didn't have anything prepared, so I was sitting there a little bit nervous. I'm thinking, okay, this is really gonna, this is why I channel, so I can just open my mouth when I need to without having anything prepared. And as all the panel speakers were talking, there was a lot of energy around political, this is wrong and this is wrong, we've got to do this, and there was a lot of mallet banging around, we've got to wake up, we've got to do this, we've got to get clear, we've got to get clean, we've got to tell everybody what we have to do, and the governments are corrupt, and it's time to do this. And it was a lot of spiritual hellfire and damnation kind of talking, which I'd never actually heard spiritual people use that manner of delivery, and I was a little taken aback. And I was sitting all behind them, and I was kind of on one of the higher chairs. They were all in like the purple chairs, and I thought, these are not my people. I don't have anything to say in this. So I heard, just be yourself, and I went, okay. Obviously I'm here for a reason. So the mic got handed to me, and I started talking about the things I've talked to you about. That imagination plus intention equals creation. And I didn't use, pardon me, the word bitch and complain, but I did say something about, I did use the word, you were there, I used the word complaining. And I sat there, and I was behind them all, so I have no idea what the expressions on their faces were. Were you there? Did you see the expressions?
They shaped up. They listened to you. They were grateful and changed, Danielle.
And I told them all, this is like coming to a construction site, and you're the builder, and complaining that the building doesn't exist, that there's raised ground there. We came here to make the changes. Why are you complaining that the changes need to be made? That's why we're here. If the changes didn't need to be made, we wouldn't have come here. And so it was a little, I felt a little like a school teacher. So I was saying to them, I said, you see these things that are wrong. Imagine what you would like to see different, and then set that intention and watch it get created. And I made that thing, and I came out, I thought, they were throwing darts at me one morning. But I did, throughout the day, the speakers, several of them came and thanked me, and I told them all to get back into alignment. And there was one particular one that was really shaking his fist at the world, and claimed to be a metaphysician for the last 40 years and has been doing this work and writing books. And I just, now in that moment I understood why the alchemy event came here. Maybe they needed to have a taste of how we do it in a way. And that's not to make a comparison, because they are all light workers. And as I mentioned, sometimes even light workers forget their light. And forget that when they see something, that veil still is there a little bit. And they look at it and say, oh, why is it that way? But my darlings, that's why we came here. Because we see that, and instead of being in judgment of it, imagine how it could be, and then set that intention. And you can do that for the universe, you can do that for right here in your own heart space energy. And I know it's a challenge to remember that every day, every waking moment. And judgment is such a profound place in our hearts for ourselves and for other people. How do we get out of judgment? By not judging ourselves. How do we get out of judgment of ourselves? To remember that we are a work of art. Instead of looking at ourselves and seeing the things that we don't like, imagine how we could be, and set that intention and watch it get created. And I love how the universe works around me. And I feel like sometimes a child on a merry-go-round, that I'm on this horse, and then all of a sudden I turn around and something is there that I didn't see before. And as I make another spin, every time I spin around, there's something there that I didn't see before. And that's what it feels like while I'm here in this energy, is I keep looking around and seeing things there that I didn't see before. Because as my vibration goes up, there are things that I can become aware of that were blinded to me when my vibration was lower. And when I'm asking for guidance from my starseed family and angels and ascended masters, sometimes I can't always hear the answers. But it's not because they're not speaking to me, but because my vibration isn't at a place where I can hear what they're saying. And so as I raise my vibration by getting out of self-judgment, can I start then having plenty? And as I put my efforts out there, then the energy that comes back to me gets stronger, because it's only my self-judgment that keeps the fall harvest small and not working. So if you feel like you're putting energy into things, and energy, but what you're getting back is shriveled up fruit that you can't eat, or ones that are bug laden, or if your crops are dying, or if you're getting just a handful of fruit instead of basketfuls, if you're not harvesting things coming back into your life at an energy level of what you're putting out there, know that there is only one thing that's causing that, and that is self-judgment. How do you know if you're self-judging? Listen to how you talk to other people. If you're judging other people, that is your gauge that you are judging yourself. I've been talking about the event planner here, and I've been noticing how stressed he is and how worried he is about the success of the event. I could have been in two places. I could have been criticizing him, saying he really should get more staff, he really should have more help, he should really just trust this. But instead I was so happy that I was in a place of, let me send him some space, let me send him some love and light, because I know where he's been. There go, by me, the grace of God. I was like that just a little while ago. Stressed, overwhelmed, just rattled in my brain, not knowing what to do, being disconnected, worried about all the finances. And I was so pleased to be able to look at him and say, let me hold space for you. Let me send you love and light, because I know what you're going through. And I was really happy when I did that, because I knew it meant I was out of self-judgment of myself being that way. If I had self-judgment still, I would have been criticizing him. So listen to how you talk to and other people. And if there's even the slightest criticism, degrading comments, opinions, and yes, opinions or judgments, even though they sound like just opinions or judgments, anytime you hear yourself engaging in this kind of conversation, you are self-judging, and self-judging will reduce the output of the energy that you put in. It's that simple. I normally channel somebody, and I was asking who I'm going to be channeling today, and I got a couple of different answers, and as my energy shifted, so did the agenda for the Sunday service. That happens a lot, actually. It changes a couple times during the week. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to ask you each to pull an Ascended Master card, and I'll give you a personal message based on whatever card that you're going to pull. And whatever card you pull is perfectly meant for you. And so I'm going to clear this deck. And Seth, you're going to take this around like this. And everybody is going to, you pull one first. Just put it face down. And then hand those out to everybody. And the message that you get is going to be personally for you, but of course it will be for everybody. Everybody's so nervous. Oh, do I grab the right card? You cannot grab the wrong card. You cannot grab the wrong card.
Do you recommend using these every day, once a week?
You cannot use these cards too much. I developed my skills using these oracle cards, pulling them every day, getting their message, tuning into them. My personal favorite is the Ascended Masters and the Archangels.
I have both, and I was getting thoroughly confused because I was doing too much, and that's why.
You have to be your own self-gauge. If it feels like too much, then pull it back a little bit. You know, I did them once an evening. Before I had them on my nightstand, and I would go to bed and I would pull 3 cards every night, and then I would journal. And Susan? Lori, what is your card?
It's exactly what I was thinking. I was sitting here. Drink more water.
And who is the Ascended Master?
Oshun.
Oshun?
It's exactly. I'm going.
Okay.
I was thinking. I was sitting here. I need water.
Did you really before you pulled the card?
I swear to God.
That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in.
I know.
Okay, so clearly she's showing up to confirm that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also asking that you drink really highly purified water.
Okay.
And coffee drinker?
Yes.
You do realize that every time you drink a cup of coffee, you have to drink 3 glasses of water just to counter the coffee, and that doesn't even count towards your daily allotment of water.
Okay, that's what I'm way behind then.
Yeah. She's asking if you could switch to any kind of herbal tea, but more importantly, there's a liver cleanse that you need to do. Caffeine, if we have a clean liver, caffeine actually doesn't have an effect on us. If our liver needs cleansing, that's when caffeine gives us an energy jump. So she's asking that you go to a naturopath and consider looking at different liver cleanse options for you. Okay, but purified water is of course for everyone. Yeah, liver and kidneys.
Liver and kidneys?
Yeah, and
Okay.
you'll stop craving the coffee.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Thank
What do you have?
Fertility?
And who is the master?
Han.
Han? And it's fertility? Can you show me the picture? Ah, okay, yes. And it's fertility is the message. Okay. This doesn't mean you're going to have a baby. It's not what it means. But it's about your creativity. And creating your sacral chakra is, as compared to your others, quite a bit reduced. And that fertility is around the reproductive organs. And do you have some blockages here? Do you ever have like discomfort in that area right below your belly button? Okay. This is a place where you can expand and get more creative. And hobbies. This is about hobbies. Painting. Do you paint?
I work with children.
You work with children?
I'm planning to start volunteering
Okay.
next week after Thanksgiving.
Okay. This is about expanding your sacral chakra. The work that we did this morning is a good beginning, but it's something that you should be doing every day. It would really help.
How do I expand that?
Watch the meditation that we did this morning on YouTube and set that intention. And watch the sacral, the tangerine yellow and oranges coming through. What do you have? Oh, yes, please.
ISIS, balanced career and home life.
Yeah, this message clearly is work and home, to actually put more creativity. But it's expanding the things that you do at work, which we've talked about, into more creative things. And she's saying that you've got a certain slave mentality that to move beyond, to move into a form of more leadership, and seeing yourself as that leader, and instead of working down at the level with all of those around you, that it's that remiss part that is stopping you from moving into a stronger leadership role, is to not see yourself in that same area energetically, but to step out beyond. Glenn, what you got?
Detached from drama.
Detached from drama?
Detached from drama.
Is that Athena?
And it's Athena, yeah.
Great wisdom. And she's saying this is your own drama coming in from within you. Programs coming through from genetics. It sounds like she's saying more your father's side. Does your father, or if he's still with us, did he tend to have kind of a, oh this happens, and was there kind of did he engage in kind of a bleak outlook of things?
I never know.
You didn't know him? Okay. This is coming through from your father's DNA. So always pick the higher vibration one. So make sure you create both sides. Does that help? Lolly, what do you have?
Energy, healing and Merlin.
And who is the,
Merlin?
oh, Merlin.
Merlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just watched Merlin last, anybody watch Merlin? That British show? No? Great show.
Long time back.
No, there's a new show that Britain has out right now. It's called Merlin. Okay. Definitely his energy is around you. Alchemy. That's why you have all your rings that you do with your work. you definitely do alchemy like Merlin does. And they are asking you to put more energy work into what you do. You do a lot of verbal processing and sightseeing. They're saying your seer, your third eye, is completely wide open. Merlin is asking you to come in more with the energetic body and do more energy work while you're doing your sessions and balance out the verbal processing. There's an underlying foundation of energy work you could be doing that increases the vibration of the people that you're working with, that allows them to hear what you're saying more clearly. What you got?
Crystals, Epona,
Ebona?
Epona.
Epona. Okay, she'd like you to wear jewelry that has all the colors of the chakras. You really need to get your chakras open, and she's asking you to wear either like an earring that has all the different colors on it, or a necklace, something that has all the colors of the rainbow in it, earring, a necklace, or scarf, or something, or even just putting a pouch together that has all the chakra jewels in them, all the stones. And to keep this with you in your purse, and to keep one on your nightstand, maybe one in your car. You don't need to spend a lot of money, a small pouch, but it will really help keep all of your chakras balanced. You've got, yours are open, and there's not a lot of debris in there, but they're a little scattered, and you could strengthen them and expand them more. And this is because of all the unsettling things that have been happening to you the last couple of years. Julie?
Yes, let's go. Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin. I'm not picking up on one particular thing that you need to let go of. It almost feels like it's this, it's like a sea that has so many things in it. And I'm not picking up a presence of one looping behavior that comes around, but it's more like a collection